Is everybody here?
But it was worth it as well.
Lights? No. Okay. Apparently we're having lighting as well. Is everybody sitting comfortably? Tough. All right, first of all, I just want to kind of very briefly kick this off and say thank you, everyone, for coming. This has all kind of come off an idea that Barry, Jess, and I had. I'm live on Twitch. Yeah, so this kind of came all off an idea that Barry and Jess, that's Lepidopterist and Mintopia for people who are still working in dual names, like 6 months ago or thereabouts, sat at a Stratland, and we were just sitting there and sort of went, this is a really interesting conversation that we're having between two different lands. Wouldn't it be really cool if we had a conversation between more lands? So I threw up a Discord channel, and we thought, well, we'll see whether it takes off and see whether anything happens. And the response from you guys has been awesome. Hopefully it's something that people find useful. There's kind of some stuff going through the next couple of days, and I was just going to just quickly run through. Well, that doesn't work in Google Chrome. There we go. So this has changed ever so slightly since the one that you saw previously, because I'm a bastard and I added a barbecue. So yeah, kind of over the next couple of days, it's primarily, for me, the main thing for this is two. One, get to know everybody, and two, work out what the hell this UK Lands thing is and what that means, and what we want to do with it going forward. So tonight, just a quick, I'm going to ask either everyone from the event or one person from the event, I don't really mind which, to stand up here, pick up the mic, and just kind of wave, everyone wave from the event so that everyone knows roughly who everybody else is. The only other thing I'd say, and we're probably all prime culprits that we go to an event, say to all of our punters, you must wear your wristbands, you must wear your lanyards, and yours is on your desk, if you're even wearing one. However, there are a lot of us here that we don't know very well, so just try and keep your lanyards on, because it does help remember who they are. I think everyone's actually wearing one. This has to be the first LAN I think I've been to, except Zoe, but that's situation normal. And the Volun punter over there, which we'll come back to in a minute. But yeah, so just kind of quickly, so this evening, just kind of social, getting to know people. Some people have been here all day, some people have just turned up, some people are just going home. Some of those Venn diagrams coincide. But yeah, so tonight's just kind of social, getting to know people. If people want to play some games or whatever, or just chill out, VR, have a beer, whatever. Tomorrow morning, and it is a little bit congested, but there's lots of stuff that people want to talk about. So kind of 10 o'clock, it would be good if people could be here. We can slide it a little bit, but the more we slide it, the more everything else gets crunched up, and the more we're going to be running from one thing to another. So if people can, I don't know who's on site and who's off site, but if you're awake, asleep, whatever, make sure you're kind of here and ready to do something useful at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock is a little kind of talk and round table from myself around what the vision that I have had for UK Lands and kind of where we think it goes, bit of a discussion and ideas from everyone, and see where we take that. Then 11:30, if I can read correctly. 11:30, RFC for caching. So that's kind of talking about what we can do to influence the industry. How we can, what our ideal caching solution is. It's going to be variable because we all cache in different ways. So it's useful to know what everybody does. But trying to get something together with that. A little bit of a break, and then we're going to throw a barbecue. Stop taking photos of me. Or live streaming. So barbecue is inclusive. You don't have to pay for it. Someone might have to help me cook it, but we'll work that out. Because somebody's leaving. So barbecue, we're just going to get some meat and some burgers and stuff. We'll have a quick chat in the morning about what people like, don't like. Have we got any vegetarians? Sweet, I don't have to adjust my numbers. Then we got a talk from Jess on building a LAN park for 500 people. So that's Epic, what Epic do. And then round table with it's probably going to be run by the TBG guys who aren't here tonight. but talking about how different people run different LANs, how we manage volunteer pools, how we get new volunteers, how you keep volunteers, that kind of thing. Barry's going to do some stuff on WCCP. It's probably a topic that a lot of, certainly the smaller LANs, haven't used, might not want to use, but it's just how we do it at Stratlan, a bit of interest. Then again, social, get drunk, have a beer Saturday evening. And then on Sunday, she's not saying no. So Zoe is, yes, so you did previously say no, but I put you in anyway and just assumed that you'd do it. Zoe's going to do a talk on external and internal IP space. She's going to stand up and talk, do something. Between now and then, Zoe is going to come up with half an hour to fill the schedule. If she doesn't come up with anything, we're all going to sit around and scream "Dance Monkey Dance" for half an hour. And we will live stream it to the Discord channel. And then kind of just before we kind of close off at sort of 12 o'clock-ish, kind of just a bit of closing down, make sure everyone agrees what we've agreed on, feedback. If you have to go early or anything like that, that's not a problem. I have no idea what time we have the hall till. Whenever we want it. Cool. So when people want to pack up and go home, pack up and go home. That's pretty much it. So my laptop is on battery. However, I caught it in time. So I'm going to sit for the rest of this talk and quietly caress the mouse. So just going to run through this quickly, and if everyone can kind of come up, just introduce themselves. So Stratlan. That's primarily why I'm here. For those that don't know, it's in Stratford-upon-Avon. We think it was established in 2004, but Gio wasn't convinced, and I don't know whether anyone's going to try and correct me. It's yes, but no one's actually convinced that it happened that I've spoken to in 2000. Established early 2000-ish. It's 3 times a year. So we have February event we call the Winter Warmer, which is probably our smallest event. That's about 80, 90 people. Summer Barbecue, which is next week. It's all very kind of you to come and help us tech our network for next week. And then in November, December time, depending on insomnia and other things, we have the Xmas party. There's 12 staff, volunteers, and 1 proto, because proto isn't actually staff. He's a punter that pays to be staff. Couple of the teams. So Ghosty can't make it, but he is in the channel, so some people will have seen Ghosty, but he can't be here this week. Proto is in the middle, so we're all kind of sat down the end there. Unspec is probably hiding somewhere. Unspec, he normally is. Lepidopterist, Barry. And then, because apparently I'm not in this photo, me, probably. And then we have our resident walrus, Chuff, who won't be here until tomorrow. But he will be here tomorrow, so everybody laugh at his photo. Jess.
Keep pressing mouse buttons. No, just push buttons. Push buttons. Cool, so Epic LAN started in 2008, but we go back a bit further to Cluck, so 2002 really. But 2008 started with 60 players and just grew it. We're now up to 450, which is fun, interesting. Next year it's 580, so that'll be fun. Not sell tickets aren't open for next year, but tickets are open for one in October, please. And yeah, I do 24-person LANs here because, yeah, this is close to home. Yeah. Thank you. That's all right. So 40 plus volunteers. Tech team are about 3 or 4 people. We don't have a strict tech team, and it's kind of multi-play, blue shirt, yellow shirt kind of way, but we do have, 3 or 4 people who are network and tech focused, including Zoe. So if we go, keep clicking. So yeah, I'm a technical manager, so anything technical, buck stops with me. We have Crocs, show yourself. Crocs is also here and from tech, and finally Krabby. So yeah, that's Epic, that's who we are. Yeah.
So we're a small LAN from Brighton, established in around 2007. We started with, like probably most of you guys, as small LAN parties inside a friend's house, and we grew out of that, started doing public LANs. We've got about 13 LANs under our belt now. Haven't run an event in a while. We're having that venue problem that I'm sure everyone's familiar with. The last venue, pictured here, we could fit 30 people in. It was really good, but got a bit too expensive. But yeah, as you can see, lots of lights. We're all about atmosphere, music, projector games, all of that kind of thing. I'm a Lumos, or Ollie, and my friend who couldn't be here is Piggy. And that's pretty much us. Oh, and also I wrote the Lanager project, which is like a PHP-based web portal system that Vibs forked for iSeries, which made me feel great. And I got sick of not knowing what was going on inside the LAN cache, so I wrote some configs for Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana to be able to have a look at what's actually in there and, you know, hit ratios, graphs, see some file paths of like what actually is going on. And then also got tired of clicking install next on Steam, trying to fill the LAN cache up. So I wrote a script that automates that as well. So if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, come and talk to me. I'll happily talk for hours and hours about it. But yeah, that's me, that's us.
Yeah, we do Westland. I'm Mike the Greek. Mike, been doing it for way too fucking goddamn long. Dates back to 2000, 2001, depending on when you count. We've done some small lands out of a tiny hall with like 10 people back in 2000, so been a while. We've got Chris and Pascal over there. We'll wave, yay. And near Monster, Jefford Mark couldn't be here because he's on holiday somewhere in Spain. I know, priorities and stuff, yeah. Been doing lands in Devon since early years. 60 odd people now, been doing them 3 times a year. It's a LAN, you know what they are.
Hey, hey.
I've written notes on this, so I'm bringing it up just to give me yeah, only because like, we've already broken through one box already, so I need a bit of guidance from
You're in front of the screen.
Sorry.
Now you're over there with the notes. Okay, all right. I'm Chris. This is Dave, Certificate 18, and Chart. We're from AltLAN. This is a LAN project that started a long time ago under a different guise, but we've run 4 events under the AltLAN umbrella, as well as numerous other community events, meetups and stuff around that. We try and focus on a very entertainment-focused party atmosphere. So we will go into a place and we will dress it up as though it's a unique space. We'll put black fabric everywhere. We'll dress up all the desks. We'll give people pens so they can sign their spaces on their desks. We'll run events on the stage and we'll drag every single person up onto the stage, whether they like it or not, and make them look silly playing a game that they've never played before, and they will beg for more. And that's what we like. Yeah. Yeah. As well as all of the gaming stuff, we've tried to focus on other things that people of our sort of like-minded nature like to get involved in. So we've got a fire pit that we run all the time. We've got some wacky outside games that we run. So Giant Jenga's a really obvious one, but we've also got a game called the Nail Game, which is demonstrated here with this hammer and this nail. We can show you how to play that later, but you have to have a few more drinks under your belt before we can do that. And we've made a village hall teapot really famous by developing a personal concoction that we deliver to everyone's desk in a periodic manner. And we like to think that the bingo club that's on after us on the Sunday, you know, is probably performing better.
I don't think they want the teapot. They don't know.
No, they've got no idea. No idea. And that's about it, I think. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Shiny.
Awesome. We've prepared absolutely nothing. So, hey, I'm Noodle. part of the old school LANing crew way back from the early multiplayer days, as Jess will confirm, and Mike, so from the early sort of 2000s, noughties days. So I guess Shiny LAN started well in the 90s as part of a small social LAN amongst friends, as most LANs probably have started. Started in a small shop, grew, ended up in a hall, and we kind of grew since then. When primarily a social LAN, we like to say there's a bunch of like-minded people that just come together and have a lot of fun. Computer games, optional. Board games, optional, but we play a lot of them. Pretty much, yeah, a lot of drinking. Oh, and on that note, there's a gallon of whiskey over there. It's free for all, literally. Help yourself. That is there for the entire people here to enjoy. So we got Connor. He's at the back. Wave, Connor. Connor is our up-and-comer. He is our trainee technician. Yeah, trainee. He's been training a while. No, we're pretty social event though. As you can see, you can visit us at dick.trade. It's an interesting domain. Genuine. If you go to dick.trade, we actually really like blackjackandhookers.club. It does redirect to our website. Yeah, so we're based in Wincanton. We run 3 events a year. Generally between 30 and 40 people attend our events. We've got a really, really active online community. We do a lot of things offline as well as online. You know, we can pretty much guarantee there's between 10 and 20 people on our Discord channel each night. You know, everyone kind of knows everyone. Really good community, group of people. You know, we're fun. Everyone loves everyone. But we also enjoy a load of games. And yeah, Connor's hairstyle and whiskey. So, I don't know. There we go.
Yeah, I'm back up for this one. So we're steamcache.net as well. So badge is now steamcache.net. We produce Docker images, mostly the Docker images relating to game caching, Steam caching, some very popular Docker images. So the main Steam cache one we did, which is using Nginx's mirror option, is nearly 500,000 pools. The DNS one that Jason mostly maintains, that's stupidly good as well. That's a DNS server that overrides all the zones that you tell it to the IPs that you tell it. And finally, we've got Generic, which is one I wrote, which caches pretty much any HTTP content you throw at it. It's just generic Nginx running in a typical cache mode. It's popular, which is good. And also SNI proxy to go along with it, because some games insist on doing HTTPS traffic to the same host names. Yeah, so we solved that with SNI proxy. So the people involved in steamcache.net, there's Goten. That's the best photo I can find of you. Yeah. Yeah, me, but that's fine. And finally, Jason. He is. Okay, over to Zoe.
Hello. So I work for Flashy Lights. It's not full-time yet, and I hope it will be soon. We were established July 2017, so we're probably the youngest company here. And we do a few other things outside of LANs, like expos and stuff. And 3 directors, myself, Josh there, and Adrian. We've also got Lily, who's our morale officer. And we hope to take her around... Sorry? Tour of servers. We hope to take her around. We're doing a 4-venue tour around the UK, running community-based LANs. That's upcoming. We've not actually ran a LAN under Flashy Lights yet, but... Sorry. How hard can it be, says Adrian, fat-ass Gordon. Oh, quote of a lifetime. And we've teamed up with Fraggers, who run the Razor Bus and stuff like that, to go around the tour with us, and it's looking really good. So yeah, we've not actually ran a LAN yet. Cool.
Hello everyone, Kayamani from LANOps. We run LANs in South Yorkshire, I think it says on our website. Technically we're in Derbyshire now. I think no one's noticed that yet, but it's alright. Yeah, it's kind of like every 2 years or so we have to move for various reasons, but you know what it's like. So there's me and Rebel here from LANOps today. I think 4No's also in the Discord. He's the person that actually founded LANOps like many moons ago. Which I think started somewhere in Yorkshire, didn't it? Huddersfield or something like that? Yeah, I've been on LANOps about 6 years now anyway, I think. There's a team of about 6 of us who rotate around. We run mainly kind of like social lands, do usual tournaments, stuff like that. We've got a few bits of software, but we might talk about throughout the weekend. What else should I say? That's about it, really. Yeah. Well, come say hi at some point, and next, I guess.
Right, I'm about to make a lot of people feel very old. Hi, I'm Crocs. I'm here on behalf of Swansea Gaming Society. I work with a lot of other people as well, so I work with Zoe and Jess with Epic LAN and Sanctum as well. But Swansea Gaming Society's only really been running events properly, LAN-wise, for the last year or so, after I kind of forced it to be a thing. We run some small society stuff, small society. We're the largest society in the university, and we got Society of the Year this year as well, which is great. But we run events. We've had up to about 75, I think, was the most seated people we had. At an event which happens about monthly to bi-monthly, so free to attend events for people in the society, and we welcome people to come in as well. If you're ever in Swansea, let me know. We sit on top of the university network, which is really convenient because Janet mostly works most of the time, until it doesn't. Yes. It does mostly work, so we can generally we don't make use of a lot of the stuff like caching. Can I get that number? But yeah, we run on whatever is cheap / given to us. A lot of the stuff we have is stuff I have from like labs and stuff we borrow from Flashy Lights as well, because we still have a lot of their access gear. Yes. I will figure it out somehow. There's 2 totes of access switches in Meg's house at the minute. So yeah, that's Gaming Society.
So Aaron is somewhere. He gave me an update. I think he's in Birmingham. He doesn't know where he is, so that's a rockner. He started from Barnsley, but then on the phone he claimed he was at Manchester, which confused me. He may turn up. He may not. He is. And then there's myself, DeForest. So we hold the Frag Factory up in Barnsley in Cuddiff. It's 48-player LAN, and we've now recently switched from doing 48 hours of gaming to 72. And this year we did a 4-day event, which I'm not entirely sure was a good idea or a bad idea at the end of it. So at the moment we're running 6 events a year. We were running 8 events. But we cut back and then added more hours, so there's still more time overall at LAN, but less events, so the staff kind of get a bit of a break. On the staff team, there's 4 of us at the moment that are permanent and 1 helper. And yeah, we run off 3 80/20 fiber lines, 1 Zen, 2 Origin, which we're aiming on changing to Virgin at some point. We do competitive and social events sort of thing. So on an evening, it's mainly drinking, board games, card games, werewolves from KO. And you'll find that a lot of our attendees are also shared with LANOps because we're in very close proximity. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. We're probably on the smaller side of the scale compared to some of yourselves this evening. We are Keylan. My name is Eugene Goat. I'm technically the community manager because I gave myself that title. And my colleague in arms, Don Rammer, I couldn't find a picture of him, so I just used the stick. Is joining me here tonight. We're only hanging around for probably a couple of minutes after the presentation, but it's been great to see everyone and say hello to the few of you that we've seen tonight. It's been really, really interesting. To give you a quick overview, we set up in 2012, probably like a lot of you in our friends' offices. We found that there was a communal interest, so we upscaled that to a nearby nightclub that I used to work in during the daytime when it wasn't used. We ran into all sorts of problems with reliable internet. You've probably heard all the same complaints, power trips, things like those. We upgraded to a couple of other venues which had the same problems, unfortunately, so we're still hunting for that perfect venue. So if you're in Gloucestershire and you know of one, this looks pretty good. Then you can expect that you're probably going to get an email or two from me after this. We typically accommodate between 15 and 25 people, so as I say, we're a little bit smaller. We're pretty informal with our events, so we only run them annually. We used to do them monthly. That was a headache. And we are different again in a lot of you guys in that we only commit to doing day-long events, so kind of 8 a.m. till midnight-ish, because we're old and we can't cope with long nights. But yeah, I think that's about it. You can take a look at the slide if you want to go through our tech side of things. It's pretty rudimentary, I think, again, compared to a lot of what you guys are using. But that's Keelan.
I don't work for the big game. So we've got 3 guys from Big Game coming down tomorrow. This is their slide, so I'm largely going to read it, but tell you who they are, if I can remember actually who's coming. So I think tomorrow we've got coming Putty Thing, Jinx, and Maverick from Big Game. So Big Game is run down in Southampton by some rough maths that Jess and I did earlier. It's, I think, the 4th largest event in the UK. It's also one of the oldest, established in kind of 2000s. They've done 47 events, 3 or 4 events a year. They run out of a school. They have 1 gig symmetric internet. Bastards. I can expand that if you want me to, Jess. They're a really cool team. So I know that Ilamos has done some stuff with them as well. I've been to a couple of their events. They're a really cool bunch of guys. If you're ever in Southampton and looking for a LAN, it's a great place to go. Kind of small, kind of about, or mid-sized, about 100 gamers. They're also looking for a new venue. I don't think they're going to get one with as good internet, if I'm truly honest. But one of the things that they do that's really cool is they do the Big Gamer tournament. So it's quite different to how a lot of us run tournaments, at least the LANs that I know well of. So that is a single tournament that runs throughout the entire event across a whole load of different games. For those of you that have been to Stratlan in some of the older days, a bit like Red versus Blue, except it's on an individual clan basis. So you put together a team of 8-9 people, and then you play in Counter-Strike, you play in Dota, you play in COD, you play in all sorts of games across the weekend, big games as well. So if you're playing in the big 60-odd person games of TF2, you get points. And then at the end of the event, there's 2 people that are kind of the competing finalists for the big gamer, so it comes down to an individual person, and then much like Altland, they get forced to play stupid projected games up on the thing, make a fool of themselves, and whoever manages to make a fool of themselves least or best is crowned the big gamer. So they do stuff a little bit differently, but they're a really cool event that are coming down tomorrow. Hi Spec, do you want me to read it?
Hello. So I am here with the Stratlan guys, but I am also on the network team for Insomnia. And I put that together very quickly and didn't read what I wrote. So feel free to have a read if you want. But if anyone has got any questions about Insomnia whilst they're here, me and several other people can probably answer your questions. And I don't know where Proto got that picture of me from, but I'd quite like it to go away.
I've just realised I don't have an end slide, so we're going to leave that photo of Spec on the projector for a while. Has anybody not said hi? You were on the list. If she didn't write you a slan slide, that's not my fault. Okay, so Fat Ass runs Fatlan, because he is fat. And he's also not here for more than about 20 minutes later, because he's got to go, because he cannot plan anything. Including a LAN without the social secretaries that bully him to put a LAN in the calendar. At the end of the last event I went to, we had to go and have a chat with Stuart, the booking secretary, to work out when the next event was, because he'd forgotten. And largely, we ended up claiming a booking that actually no one had claimed to, that we assumed was probably Fatlan. Yoink. So the last thing is I was just going to mention, based on that I know, so there might be a few extras that need to put their hand up at this point, but stacks that we have here, so just kind of people that are interested in other people's tech or whatever it might be. Stratland, Stratcore is over in the back corner in the green flight cases. We have Epic Core, or Epic Stack, whatever they call it. Epic Mobile Event Core, because they're corporate. The mobile event core from Epic is down under the table. I know the Westland guys have got some of their kit over in the back. Ilamos has got some stuff stashed everywhere around his desk. I think... Is it going to boot? And Krabby's got a flashy lights core. So there's a... I thought I was being filmed from a different angle. So yeah, we've also got the VR rig. So I kind of just want to say a massive thank you for everyone for turning up. Because when we started this idea and went, shall we do this? I was kind of absolutely petrified that it was going to be 4 of us sitting in the middle of a hall going, doo-ba-doo-doo. I mean, to be fair, we'd have fired up a Factorio server and been absolutely fine. What I would like to honestly say is I would genuinely like to ban Factorio from this event, because if anybody starts up a server, we'll get nothing done. So if anyone's got Factorio on auto start, please disable it once it's started. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone, really. This doesn't happen without people contributing. It's a community of events. If no one actually said anything, I'd be talking to an empty hall and I'd have just wasted 3 hours of driving for no reason. So thanks to you guys for coming. Let's make something of this and see what we can do. Let's go have some beer. How do I turn this stupid thing off? Going, it doesn't work, and making text look